What if I told you you could actually work less but not earn less? Yes, absolutely possible. You can work 3 days a week and make $250,000. I do it every single year, and so do so many others. And I'm going to break down how exactly this can happen for you. So the first thing we're going to look at is, why do you need to make $250,000? If you're sitting here, you're watching this video and you haven't made it to 10,000, I've got a wake-up call for you. We're going to look at the truth numbers, I call them. Then I'm going to show you how to put together an offer to make that happen for you without losing your goddamn mind. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock out some more math and help you determine how to walk confidently into an offer like that and remove the worthiness from you to the product. This is a big to-do. We're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to show you, where do you locate these really mythical creatures that will pay you a great amount of money to solve these problems? Where are they hiding? I'm going to show you exactly where. So why would you listen to me? Well, my name is Pamela Dale, and I do this every year for myself. More and more and more revenue, however much I want. I really am a genius at this. Do it for clients, and I've helped multiple 6 and 7 and 8 figure business owners do the exact same thing. So first up, why 250? Why would you want to take a look at 250 versus 10,000 a month? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down why that number is so important and then show you how it's easier to charge more than less. And this is the first step. My calculator. How much should I charge? This is going to calculate hourly, and I'm very cautious for some of y'all to think that this is where I'm taking you. This is not where I'm taking you. This is where we are starting. We are starting at truth, and your corporate brain has got you programmed into hourly thinking. So I'm going to knock the hourly thinking out of you by really giving you a clear picture on what you're currently charging versus what you need to be charging per hour. And it's going to shock you. It shocked me the first time I did this. If you want a copy of this, absolutely jump over to thefreelancercode.com and get your own copy. I'm going to run through the numbers here. They're going to be random, but almost like a good example for some of you, right? And I want you to think about what I'm doing versus watching the actual numbers of what I'm punching in. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's get started. We're going to calculate annually, but I'm going to fill this in under the monthly column. And there are columns here. Some things that you need, like childcare, etc., may not be on this list. Make a note and add them in. We are calculating expenses. Let's take a look. Mortgage, let's just do $2,000. If yours is more, do the running math along with me. $200 for gas, electric, etc., phone, internet, eating out. Even that alone has skyrocketed so much that the $10,000 a month doesn't even make sense, right? And then some of y'all's insurance is crazy price. And then transportation, maybe you've got a $500 car payment. And then this is monthly, but if I travel every year and it costs me $5,000, then I need to be sure that I'm adding in the right number. So I'm going to put $650 a month. This is where we also get into trouble. So my business has some expenses, right? So I've got a new computer every 2 years. So let's put $250 in there. And we've got some subscriptions. Mine are about $1,500 a month. And I put my website in there as well. Now, I won't calculate advertising because you probably aren't doing much advertising at the moment, but if you're doing social media or anything like that and it's costing you anything, drop those in. Legal and accounting, about $200. Professional development, let's put $1,000 in there. And then if you're renting space, contractors, I have a couple, and $2,500, and then anything extra. So what we're starting to see here is this sheet is calculating some numbers. We currently have $114,600 in annual expenses. So your $10,000 a month, you got a couple $100 left. But we haven't even talked about what? Fees and taxes. So you need to have credit card processing fees, you need service fees, etc. You need to change these numbers and making sure that these are appropriate for you. We'll leave these for now. Then we have to think about taxes. Add in your federal and your state income tax. This is $34,502 based on these rates. So I need $153,915 to break even. Where does that money come out out of if you are not charging or not making $10, $12, $15,000 a month. Exactly. Debt. So let's calculate our hourly rate. And again, be careful with this hourly, but we're doing this for demonstration purposes. We have a vacation. This is why you never take vacation. You're not planning for it. You're not charging enough. So we're going to take 14 days and there's 10 holidays in the year that I'm going to take off. Right? And then I'm not sick often. I'll take 2 days. If you have a chronic illness, this is where you get into trouble with your planning, etc. Your whole business falls off the rails because you do not calculate. You know approximately 2 days a week you are unavailable for work. So this 3 days a week will work for you, right? This is really important to understand for yourself. Tell yourself the truth. So then how many days are available? There's 365 in the year. And then the working days per week, we're doing 3, right? That gives me 156 working days a year. Remember that number. Now I work 8 hours a day. Like 8 hours a day, not Facebook scrolling. I'm working 8 hours a day. Perfect. Then I have calculated, the sheet has calculated $123 an hour. So when you come to me as a professional and you quote me $40 an hour to do XYZ, I already know you are not in your own right mind. I question when you come to me with a $40 rate that you will become resentful, cut corners, disappear, because in your brain, the work doesn't equal the amount of effort that you're putting out, but you decided the rate to start with. This is why you get ghosted and why you ghost, even if you say you don't. You do. You don't run through the end of a project. Like a marathon, you start to slow down before the end of the project. You can't do that. Think about it when you're running a race. You must run through the end of the tape all the way to get as fast as possible. So you need to charge appropriately so that you have enough gas in the tank in every area of your life, and money will give you that to make the project work so that you can then fulfill and get the next client and not be judging and feeling so crappy about yourself as well in your business. So this is your hourly rate, and this is your day rate, and this is your week rate. Exactly. So then what about savings? This is why we're in trouble when a computer breaks. I put $25,000. This gives me 188. Do you see how close we are to 250,000? And you might have a lot more expenses than I got. 151, day rate 1210. Weekly rate, $36.30. So what I wanted to do with that exercise is knock you out of your stupor of 2020. In 2024, this is what it's going to take. 250,000 is the new 100,000. Believe it or not, go to the store and buy an apple. Has it not increased? Everything has increased, including the cost for any ads, any staff. My rate's gone up. Everyone's rates are going up. Yours need to go up so that you can step into the business and life that you are here to provide for yourself and for your clients. So there's a little bit of money truth. Okay, so then you're saying to me, fantastic. Working 3 days a week, currently, how am I going to pull it off? How am I going to make $250,000 and not lose my goddamn mind? I had that same question when this was presented to me. So let's run through some numbers on my iPad here. Let's start with a $15,000 offer. It's a nice round number. We'll get to this number later. I'll show you exactly how to do this. And if we're working 3 days a week, remember that number I asked you to remember? That's 156 days that you're working per year. So that gives you a number of $1,602.56 per day that you need to earn, right? So you need to 16,002.56 times 15,000 equals, you guessed it, $250,000. So the math works out. So you need to sell 6.667. You need to sell just under 17 of them in a year. So then you need to sell 1.38 per month. Could you sell one $15,000 package every 3 weeks versus what you're selling now? I think that would be a hell yes. Now, I hear what you're saying. I don't have a $15,000 offer. Nobody's going to pay $15,000. I don't know where to find them. Stay with me. We're going to keep going through this. But I want you to really understand that a $15,000 offer is easier to create, to fulfill, and to sell. No question about it, because you are looking for one specific client versus 14 different types of clients, aka anyone with a credit card. So it's really important for you to wrap your head around this $15,000 offer. So let's talk about, how do you create a $15,000 offer? This is the optimal word. You are going to create this offer, and you are going to create clients, versus your current client situation is where they're giving you an order. Like, I'll have a hamburger and fries and gravy and a Coke. You're going to create the offer because you're an expert enough. And I'm not going to listen to when your brain just said, no, I'm not. Is that thought helpful? Is that useful? And is it still correct today? It isn't. It isn't. If you ended up in my world, you are an expert, and you have done a process with your clients over and over and over again, or there's one that you love and that's the one you'll pick up and go with. So creating a client, let me show you how to do that. So this is my how do you create high paying clients little worksheet, and the link for this will be down below. So go ahead and just grab it. So there are 4 words on here that I want you to pay attention to. The first is costing $15,000, missing $15,000, gaining $15,000, or keeping $15,000. When you're thinking about your offer, you need to remove you and your self-worth from the offer. We're going to say this once. Your value in the world is 100% complete simply because you were born. You need to do nothing else to be worthy. You get to pick up that thought. And in the client game, that thought is a must, because you must move your value from what you are over to what you provide, so that you don't bring in yucky clients and get it all wrapped up in yourself and hate everything about yourself and your client and your business, because you actually chose to bring that client in yourself because of your real deep-seated hanging on to belief that is no longer valid. So we need to flip it to the value that you're going to create for the business. And businesses right now have just as many or more problems that need solving that people are willing to pay $15,000 for and more. So let's break it down. If you could save a CEO 15 hours of time in 3 months, maybe you do this in 1 month, maybe you do it in 3 months, maybe you're running with 3 clients at a time, so doable in 3 days. And I'm going to break down the time frame here for you too. You save a CEO 15 minutes of time. What if you could help them with $2,000 a month of ads that just aren't converting right now? What if you could help replace a $5,000 salesperson, or you are that person, or they don't have that person, right? What about missing? Are they missing clients? Are they missing leads? Are they missing follow-up? Are they missing upsells? Are they missing? Think about it. When you're a web designer and someone comes to the website, what are they missing? They're missing the traffic from that site because the site sucks. It is slow to load, not mobile optimized, doesn't have the proper CTA, the form isn't connected, so they never answer. The user ability is not there, on and on and on. Even design will help elevate $15,000, because remember, when you walk away, it's still making them money. And then what about gaining? Could you help them bring in a $15,000 client? Could you help them bring in 8 at $2,000? In any way, social media, SEO, web design, funnel building, email marketing, go on and on and on. Absolutamente, you can. And then the next one is keeping 15,000. This is delicious, because when I walk into a business, I see where they have no follow-up, there are leads dropping through, they have no referral system, they have no circling back in 6 months system, they have no next offer, they have no monthly retainer, monthly recurring revenue product of any type. Not software, not coaching, not service, not maintenance, nada. Could you help them with that? I am guessing 100,000%. So let's look at this. The first one, leveraging $15,000. I want you to think about how could you help them understand that this $15,000 investment is going to create leverage, whether it's through automations, better systems, delegations, right? Or enabling them to work just a few less hours. Amen. I would take that. I would look at that. Absolutely, right? Time saving, demonstrate the time ROI. Showing how an investment of $15,000 saves them hours and hours of work a month, and tie it back into, right? They don't want to work Thursdays. So powerful. Scaling, illustrate how this investment enables scaling their business. Scaling clients, systems, and services with minimal input because you've got to build systems for them. And then a $15,000 return on investment, or the ROI, from spending that, and it continues to multiply in what we call future gains. It just keeps turning in the background. It is so sexy. It is a no-brainer. Let me tell you a story about Dr. Ann. Dr. Ann is my current client. Her and I work together on Go High Level. That's the system she uses. That's actually my service. She came to me yesterday and she said, I need help with a workflow that does this. Here's my problem. I am in the sexual health niche and I need my clients every 4 months to do hormone testing. And we're dropping those clients. We don't know where they are. We don't know who's where. And those clients are worth, guess how much? $1,000. So if we can get one client to return 3 times a year, $3,000. Can you see how quickly $15,000 makes sense to her? And I built it in a couple of hours and handed it off. It works in the background, taught her how to use it. Bye-bye. Thousands of clients can come back through that system. It took me how long? So it wasn't based on my hourly rate. It's based on, what did I build? What did I build for her? Do you see the switch? So then the next thing you want to ask yourself, well, how do you do this without losing your mind? That's such a great question because that was my first thought. I'm already overworked. I'm going to challenge you on that as well. I know you're not overworked because you're not producing, you're overthinking, and that's your problem, but you're not producing. So we've got to get you to producing. So how do you pull off a $15,000 offer? You turn it into what I call a productized service or productized offer. You hear the word product. What you're doing is you're going to take it and turn your service into a product. So let me tell you about mine. It is a $15,000 offer. It is 3 months and it is helping people build Go High Level software businesses. So I'm helping them take a system software, offering it to their current clients and future clients, and creating a monthly recurring revenue stream that saddles right up beside their coaching and or service provider business, right? So you can see already immediately that makes sense. I didn't come up with this overnight. People started asking me because of the skill set that I have. So it's very important to pay attention to what the marketplace is saying to you. And they said, will you build it? You're really techie. Can you build it? I said, I don't know if I can. Let me try. And then it just went next. And I built a system. I noticed I was doing the same thing over and over again. What? Let me turn it into a full productized service. And I did just that. And that's what you're looking at. This is the PP scope of work. So PP is Pocket Pamela. There are 3 levels of Pocket Pamela, and it depends how much access you get to me as a person to pick my brain. And this is our scope of work. So we have some of the essentials here. This is your onboarding. This is how you get started to work. And then what you do is I work off their goals. We build a checklist here of their goals. And as we go through everything, we reach all of the goals. So I had one recently. A lady said, I've got my software. We launched it. It's a shit show. The service wasn't great. Our members, our subscribers, their people are so upset they all want to leave. That was her goal. Well, you'll notice on this document that there is nothing in here about working with angry clients. What we did is we still worked the system. And the system is this. We put different things in different statuses. We assigned people to task. We knew what the tasks needed to be. What is the due date? In Google Drive, you can add that in. What are the dependencies, notes? Is there a checklist? Is there a document? Is there a training link? You'll notice everything's got a checklist. Everything's got documents that go with it. And there's a full training for every single piece. We walked through all of this with her. And at the end, her people absolutely loved it again, because we put the system in place, and we put a system in place for her business that she could run through. Now, you're probably saying, well, not everybody's going to need all of these pieces. Exactly. But that's the process. Some of them might have some of them done. As an experienced expert with doing this, I know from doing this over and over and over again, where are the holes, where are the potential problems, where do clients fall off, where do they lose their mind, they will disappear, someone will die. It happens. So you have to know your process and tell yourself the truth and put enough time and processes in place in the system to make it work for both of you. Don't expect the client and yourself to sit in these unrealistic expectations if you already know it falls apart on week 6. It's unloving and unkind. This is why you charge more, because we've got 2 weeks where we can muck about. I've spent a half a day on just getting logged into something one time. Like, it was just not going to let us in. We're dealing different IPs, all sorts of stuff. You can just imagine what we start to deal with. So then you are going to have a weekly meeting if that's what you do. If not, you're going to go into this document at the first of your work, and you're going to assign it all out and dates. And you're going to get the commitment of your people, both yourself, your staff, them and their staff, that they must meet these requirements, and they must talk to you in this document so you know exactly what's going on. No scope creep. No who's responsible for what. Oh my God, you missed that deadline. We can't move forward. Here's what happens when the project moves 2 weeks out of scope. You add on the extra $1,000. What was your weekly pay? This is how you start to think about this. So important. So I want you to start to document out your process. This doesn't happen overnight. If I showed you the raw documents of what it took to get here, it was work with this client. Okay, this works. Okay, work with this client. Let's take it this next step. Work with this client. Oh my God, we missed that. And then we got great at onboarding, offboarding, and in-between pieces and follow-up. But we worked on the process first. And then we realized the onboarding was absolutely crucial. And then we realized that the offboarding was so crucial as well, because they would lose their mind when they realized they could no longer work with us. So I want you to really, really pay attention to where is the next offer. Ongoing support, my own monthly recurring revenue product is sitting right there. So this is how you're going to put this together. Does this make sense? Is it starting to come together? Now, if you are like so many people that I work with and say, that's great, Pamela, but I don't have anything like that, then you simply haven't worked with enough clients, or you're not telling yourself the truth in one of two ways. One is you do, but you might not like it. And 2 is you have an offer you love, but you haven't sold it. And both are perfect, because here's what I'm going to tell you about an offer you don't like. You're going to get bored of your offer in 2.5 weeks, but it doesn't fulfill on everyone's goals. Your business is going to get to a stage of boring. We'll talk about that on another call, but please know that that's not the reason to switch up your offer. That's when you need to double down. So then let's talk about, how do we pull this off? I'm only working 3 days a week, right? So let's take a look back here at the iPad. We are going to work 8 hours a day, and we've got 24 hours per week, right? And you need to do 4 tasks in your business, putting them into some buckets. You've got some marketing, right? You've got sales, you've got fulfillment. You have to fulfill on what you sold. And then you've got those CEO duties as well. And those might be your bookkeeping, etc., right? So you've got those. So then what you might say to me right now is, I'm already overworked. And I'm going to call you on it, because here's what I do with my schedule. I break it in half, my 3 days, and I color code my calendar. I've got client work, and this is what I call focus work. I don't look at my phone. I don't look at email. I don't look at anything but the client work. Because I've got the process, I know when they are done their part and we have readied our parts, we can then move to the next piece. Then that gets scheduled in the next week. And I'm not going to sit down and work and go, oh, Bob hasn't given me his logo yet. We're not even going to schedule Bob. And Bob is very clear that we don't get him on the calendar unless that's happened, because we do that in the onboarding. Then I know exactly when I sit down what I'm going to accomplish in this client work slot. This could be 2 hours, it could be 1 hour, and you will find that you can leapfrog people forward in a 3-month process with 2 to 4 hours a day very quickly when you're actually focused on working. Because right now you are not focused on working. I guarantee it. I can write a book and do all my client work and everything in the same structure of a business model. Don't even come to me. Show me your calendar. I'll know that you're not productive. You think you are, and that's the problem. So then I'm going to put my marketing maybe every morning, and then I'm going to take sales calls in the morning. And how many sales calls again do I need to make? So maybe I need to talk to 3 people a month. You get good at selling this, they'll just get on and go, how much? I'll tell them how much, because I'm really good at my marketing out front. I'm clear on my brand, I'm clear on who I am, I'm clear on what I sell, and people show up. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. So then my marketing and sales, and then what I do is I do a little half-hour block in the morning, and I do a little half-hour block in the evening for the CEO stuff. And if I need more time, right, this is emails, following up with staff, etc. If I need more, then I've got a problem with my processes, right? Right. So structuring your day and leaving it, maybe you take Thursday and Friday off, maybe you work Tuesday, Wednesday, you get to decide. And you'll communicate this very clearly with your client so that you know and they know. It's most important that you know first what you are going to do and not do, and then your client knows that you work on these days. You would be amazed at when you give people corrals, little playpens to play in, comes from my farming days, they will do it. Exactly. Imagine that. A client, you are in control. You are in more control and have more power than you could ever imagine in your business. Putting this system in place, and you have to then have the gumption to hold them to account. You said you could do this. Look at their calendar and your calendar when you start work together. Where's the birthdays? Where are you having a barbecue? We're sliding right into Christmas. Account for that. Extend your work over if you need to, which means you either stop it dead in between and pick it up later, but you've got other clients. You get to decide. So I negotiated with someone a higher rate yesterday because they need a little bit more learning on the front. So that's going to come out of somebody's pocket of time. Mine, I charge double. I could move some stuff around. Imagine that, because I've got some flexibility. I've got a marketing system that works. I don't really get on sales calls. You will get there too. I promise you will. So then what's the next question? Pamela, where are they hiding? Let's demystify this just a minute or two. So what if I told you that I had the exact same thoughts and feelings and desperation that you have currently, and today I don't? I know exactly where the clients are, and they were there all along. What? Exactly. Let me say that one more time. The clients that you so desperately seek were there the whole time. So what could be missing? You. Yeah, okay, silly question. But you visible, you visible, you visible, you visible, and you sharing on social media, because that's important in 2024 more than ever. You must demonstrate what you do, that you do it over and over and over again, so that when someone introduces you, when they come across something, they look at all of your social. We align on values, we align on, I curse a little, they don't end up in my world if that's not what they want. They see it immediately. That's why our sales calls are not sales calls. They are, what's the price? And it becomes, do I want to work with you? Yes, it has, and it's beautiful. The most incredible people that show up in my world, you would be surprised. I'm like, pinching myself when I get off the call and I go tell my husband, I just met the most amazing woman. She lives in Minnesota and she does real estate investing and she needs me to help her with this, 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 and this. What? Where'd you come from? Magic. It's magic and it's delicious. So I have got something I want to share with you. It's called the Client Locator, theclientlocator.com. There'll be a link down below for this as well. But this is where you're going to uncover those high-paying, high-quality clients. I'm going to show you the document. This is what you will get when you go ahead to theclientlocator.com and fill this in so that you get this, but you get everything else that's going to come next. It's going to be really important for you. So go ahead and just give me your email address. Let's get her done. So the Client Locator. There are amazing places as a service provider for you to go and talk to clients. There are both online and offline places. I built my whole business on 2 locations. The first was I was a ClickFunnels expert, and I built my whole multiple 6-figure digital marketing agency out of the ClickFunnels group. That was it, because that was the software I was using. I decided to help people. Today, it's Go High Level. Same thing. It's the only place I find clients. It's delicious. So imagine if you loved ActiveCampaign, if you loved WordPress, where could you go? Elementor theme, Divi theme, this plugin, that plugin. Imagine what you could do with the suppliers. What about tools and software? What about events, blogs, podcasts, influencers? I've partnered with people who we pass clients back and forth because I'm front end, back end, they're front end, back end, depending how it works. YouTube channels, go and find people, books, reach out to the author, see if you can partner with them. They work with web designers. What? You like to help web designers who do SEO? Wow, you have just simply been hiding, my people. Communities, groups, authors, competitors, adverts, websites, forums, media, and then the same with offline. Imagine going local. Chamber of Commerce, local meetups, local suppliers, co-working spaces, associations and clubs, and it just goes on and on and on. This is why you are broke. This is why you are struggling. The clients are not hiding, you are hiding. You know it, and I know it, because you are afraid. That's it. You're going to call it confusion, you're going to call it overwhelm, but you simply are afraid to put yourself out there until there is no longer a choice. The day will come where all of your choices will be removed and the world will deliver you the choice. And you don't want that for yourself. I didn't want that for myself, so I figured this out. I do it still today, every single day. I'm on the ground, boots on the ground, talking to and getting clients. I get more clients than I can handle. What would that be like? I've chosen to only have 2 people work with me. Could I get a sales team and subcontractors? Absolutely, I could. At this time in my life, that's not where I'm at. That's fine. I've built partnerships and I help other people build their businesses. What if you could partner with more people like me? We're everywhere. So with that, you're going to determine that you need to make first $250,000 a year, right? Absolutely. Then what you're going to do is you're going to figure out the math. A $15,000 offer, what does that look like? And then you're going to schedule and build your process, your productized service, and you're going to put it into a calendar, and you're going to follow the calendar. And then what you're going to do is you're going to continue to keep working on your mindset, and you're going to go to these places, and you're going to make an offer to help, and you're going to get on and help, and you're going to make another offer to help, and then we're going to see you on the $250,000 highway real soon. See you in the next video.